Hello, good morning. Happy Monday. It's February 6th, 2023. It's actually my birthday today, which is ironic. But I just want to go to the chase and say that this is the first week that I'm starting a live stream on teaching training folks on Red Hat. My intent and purposes is I'm going to get folks towards for those who are interested in going the Red Hat certified architect route pathway. I know for some people they may say, oh, it's not really worth the price, but I'm here to tell you that it actually is. There's a lot of different parts of Red Hat that you can get into. But in order to get the RHCA, you do have to pass first the RHCA as well as the RHCE as well, in addition to 5 different specialty exams. What you see in the background is my Linux machine. I actually do have, in fact, I'm running a host machine, so the host is running Red Hat Linux 8.7. I do have another Red Hat machine, which is a virtual machine, which I will show you all in just a little moment. But that is, which I'll show you guys. This is that's all. So look over here. So as you can notice, I have like 2 other VMs running Red Hat. One of them is Red Hat 8, and the other one's Ubuntu. So these are basically 2 Linux machines that I do have that are virtualized. I'm using KVM for virtualization. I find that it supports a lot more. I can do a lot more with virtualization, and I don't have to. The best part about KVM is you don't have to spend nearly as much money on virtualization. I know VMware is a big one in a lot of enterprise environments, but VMware, my only issue with VMware is the cost and the licensing associated with it. So that's part of the reason why I use KVM. You'll see me use KVM a lot throughout this, not only this RHCA training, but really it's RHCA training. So I'm going to try and over the course of the next few years I'll cover each specialty exam, each Red Hat exam as much as possible, as much as I can, based on where I'm going. And also, I am planning to take the RHCA on April 28th, 2023. Should be a very nice time. I'll come on here and I'll explain how I did once I receive scores and everything back. So that's just a brief introduction of what we're getting into. We're starting out with the RHCA, obviously, because that's the most entry-level exam for Red Hat. And so I just wanted to go over a few of the things, some of the key caveats here. I just want to go over, first I'm going to bring over the objectives, because as you guys know, the objectives are very, very important that you go over these. And this is what I go by. So as soon as in a few moments, I'm going to have the objectives pulled up. Now, my understanding is that Red Hat has upgraded to Red Hat version 9. But if you're still using Red Hat 8, it's totally fine. Most of the objectives have not changed. So this is their website. Is again very important. I'm going to go over each of these objectives in much broader detail, much good detail. Very important to look over this. It's on the Red Hat page. To get to it, you just go to redhat.com, which I'm going to go to now. So you just go to redhat.com and go to all certifications, as you see here, and then go down here to where it says RHCA. And we'll click on view the certification, and what it entails. This will give you just some prove your skills and some knowledge. This is just a synopsis of what it covers and what it's about. And then if you go under exams, you'll see the EX 200 for the most part. which is the name of the exam. And then once you click on that, it will take you to this. It gives you an exam description, who the audience is catered to, prerequisites. These are if you're willing to pay for a Red Hat course. They actually have different Red Hat courses and things like that, or the RHCA Rapid Track course. I'm not going to go through that way. I think guided it's actually very, very expensive. This is like a pre-assessment just to see where you are Linux wise. Really good stuff. And then this right here, the main piece that I want to reiterate, this is very important, is going through the objectives for what's covered on the exam. So this is sort of there's some very important stuff here. Talk about multi-user targets, which we'll kind of go into a little bit. I'm just going to showcase some stuff of what I've done in the lab. This is talking about file systems and all of that, and I'll go through a clip on each of these and how they all work. This one right here, I love this section: manage users and groups, create, delete, and modify local user accounts, change passwords and adjust password aging for local user accounts, create, delete, and modify local groups, and group membership, and configure super user access. And then, of course, stuff about containers, manage security, and all that stuff. This exam is based on, like I said earlier, it's based on Red Hat 9. We are going to go over a couple of other pieces. I think what they did, because the previous version used to have Stratus and VDO, I believe in Red Hat 9 they moved it to LVM. So we'll kind of go into that, the main little differences. But for the most part, other than that, every objective from the Red Hat version 8 is still relevant for Red Hat version 9 exam for the RHCA. The exam itself is basically, all I'm going to say is, because of non-disclosure agreement reasons and all that different type of thing, they're basically lab-based exams. There is no multiple choice. You actually have to know what you're doing. You actually have to practice, get some hands-on practice. I would say you definitely want to practice this at least about a good 2 hours a day, if you can, to practice the material, which I think is very, very important that you get your practice in as much as possible, more than anything. I usually get mine in the morning. That's the best time for me, but a lot of people, again, they have their own prerogative as far as when they want to get their hands-on practice in. And I would say definitely go gradual with the commands. But I just want to, if you're new to Linux, I would say definitely start out with the with this right here. If you're very new to Linux, I would say start with this section first. This understand to use essential tools, especially grep, regular, man pages, comment and moving. This section right here, if you're new to Linux, definitely go through that section first before you do anything else. This is going to be the foundation of not only your Linux journey, but your pathway to becoming successful on a Red Hat, not only on the Red Hat exams, but also in terms of your Linux career path. So I'm just going to move this away. And one of the things that is very important if you're new to Linux is the man pages. Man pages are very, very important. Me personally, I use them all the time. I use it, just to give you a prime example of what I mean. If I use, like, for example, a prime example, as you typically will see, is hostname. Okay, so these are just some basic commands. You'll see this a lot on the exam, but this one, these are just some basic ones. So like man, hostname, CTL, for example. And if you notice, it tells you everything about that command, how it works, the different parameters that you can set and you can specify. So like this just so happens to be that this command just happens to just showcase your host name. That's all it does. It just showcases what your host name is on your machine. And if I put in host name CTL ETL here, that's what that command basically does. in a nutshell. Tells you everything you need to know about what version your machine is running. Again, very basic stuff. I didn't want to go to, I'm not going to go too much detail on this video. Subsequent videos, I'll go into the other flips. So I'm going to start out easy. We're going to start off a little easier. I did kind of start some practice on myself last week. So we'll kind of going to build on that. But this is just a showcase of what you will see, what you're going to see, and what you're going to encounter. But this is just a basic command. So I'd say get through the basic commands first, and then work your way up to the higher level stuff, and then eventually we'll get into shell scripting in a future video. So this is just an intro video. I didn't want to go into too much detail today. I will come back on tomorrow or in another video, and we'll go over some good stuff. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.